You're looking at the coach right there. He's hoping he's going to bring with them a winning formula that he had up in Portland. A high-scoring, tough defense, take care of the boards. Well, it's very difficult to do when your three best players are all on the injured list.
Yeah, as he told us before the game began, it's really difficult for me, he said, to get a real feel for this club because I haven't seen them all together yet. Well, we'll see if they can get on the board first and look at the matchups here going early. Paxson is on Garland. Both Garland and Grant in the starting lineup tonight along with Bo Kimble.
It's a good matchup tonight right here, Grant and Charles Smith.
Smith's first effort wouldn't go. Scottie Pippen pulls down the rebound, gives it over to Michael, and the Bulls get a chance to get on the board first.
Well, I expect to see Michael in the pivot a little bit tonight because of the mismatch in size that he'll have on Gary Grant or Winston Garland.
Grant takes the shot over Smith. That wouldn't go. Michael comes away with a rebound in the corner, but turns the ball over. Out of bounds. It'll go back to Chicago.
The toughest job tonight for the Clippers will be, can they take care of their own defensive board? Charles Smith and Benoit Benjamin must play big this evening and really come down with all of the boards. In that way, Kimble can get out on the fast break.
And it comes to Cartwright. The Grant hands the ball. They started to hand it to Paxson. Now gives it over to Jordan. He draws a double team, gets rid of it to Bill Cartwright for the open jumper, and Cartwright nails the first basket of the night.
Now, when you watch the Clippers play, they get it up fast and they shoot early. They force a lot of three-point shots.
Charles Smith. They're going to call a goaltend and a foul.
Excellent call that time, Pete. The ball was on its way down. Now this matchup we're going to be seeing all night. See, they get it up fast. Now you'll see Grant playing on Charles Smith. You cannot let him post up that close to the basket. This young man is blessed with great athletic talent. Can really score with his back to the basket.
One of the real quiet stars in this league. You do not hear an awful lot about Charles Smith. He's in his third year. He's averaging just under 20 points a game, and he does it night after night. A very consistent player for this Clipper team. Clippers up by a point early.
You have to go inside right now. A zone call. Excellent call by Billy Oakes that time. You see, tonight we're going to be seeing Pippen going into the low post area with Kimble or with Garland, and also Michael Jordan. And the Clippers must get back and help out as quick as possible.
Scottie Pippen, who's been struggling on this road trip, shooting only 36% on the road trip. Maybe that's why. Not a very good shot selection. A 4-on-1 break. Smith. He has all 5 Clipper points.
When they're healthy, all of their forwards run so well. Now what you just saw there, 3-on-1, 4-on-1, we'll see a lot of that tonight.
Grant moves into the lane, has a little trouble with the ball, but got fouled in there.
Now here they come on the break. This is a 4-on-1 fast break. An excellent choice that time. Reward the big people who are running the lane, and especially Charles Smith, because he'll put a lot of pressure on Grant to play both ends of the floor.
That last foul called on Winston Garland. Out it comes to Paxson. He is wide open and nails it.
Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen loves to go to the middle off the dribble, Pete, with the left hand, and any time that he's double team will kick out.
Mr. Smith has a hot hand in the early going. He has all 7 Clipper points.
Well, you know, I just can't believe that Grant's going to continue to play behind him.
Paxson from the top of the circle. He has got a hot hand early as well. He has 4 of Chicago's 6 points. Clippers by 1.
See, when you play speed-up basketball, like the Clippers are trying to do, shot selection and discipline become a major factor.
Kimble, on the board to his first 2. It's a 3-point Clipper lead. 9.5 to go in the first. Out it comes to Paxson. Back inside to Grant. His little jump hook over Smith wouldn't go. Rebound off the floor to Kimble. Gets it off to Winston Garland. Down it comes to Grant. Grant works against Jordan. Draws a crowd. There's a steal for Michael.
I try to tell players, do not leave the floor unless you are going to shoot the basketball.
Scottie Pippen losing the ball as he got into the lane. And it goes back to Los Angeles. 9-6 Clippers, 9:05 to go in the first. Chicago with the lowest average number of turnovers of any team in the league.
But if I'm looking at the Chicago team objectively, Pete, I realize they're forcing a lot of interior shots, and they're trying to create things that are not there. Always play off of the defense. Take what it gives you.
Smith will take the jumper over Grant this time. Charles Smith with 9 first quarter points.
I like this matchup. These are two very, very underrated players at the big forward position. Grant for Chicago, Smith for the Clippers.
22nd timeout being called here by the Chicago Bulls, and I'm sure most of the conversation is going to be about doing a little more on defense with Charles Smith.
Well, you know, Pete, when you look at Charles, he's out of University of Pittsburgh. A lot of people said that he played soft at times while he was in college. But, you know, a lot of that is sometimes it's because you're not involved in the offense. Here, last year, he averaged 21 points a game, close to 7 rebounds, and was right around 2 block shots a game. Now, we're talking about a complete player.
Bulls down by 5, a near steal by Benoit Benjamin. Michael takes the jumper, wouldn't go for him. Rebound pulled away and lost by Scottie Pippen. He and Smith battle for it off Pippen. Ball belongs to the Clippers.
In the early going, the quickness of the Clippers are forcing bad shot attempts by Chicago. But most of all, Chicago has missed every mismatch where they had an advantage in low with a big player being defensed by a smaller man. They haven't hit the guy yet.
Down low it comes to Benjamin. Paxson comes over to help out. They tried to hit Grant, cutting across through his hands into the arms of Scottie Pippen. To Michael. Michael dishing off to Horace Grant, and he got fouled on the way up.
That's all right. That was excellent hustle by Garland that time. He came down, tried to block the shot. When you're playing at home, you want to go and put physical force. Try to intimidate as much as you can. You're giving away such a height advantage tonight. What's the difference whether you force him to make 2 foul shots in the line? You don't want to let him go in and get the dunk.
Grant's a 76% free throw shooter. He's been averaging about 11.5 points a game on his 4th year out of Clemson. And Tom Garrick checks in, replacing Winston Garland, who's picked up 2 quick fouls here in the first quarter. Garrick in his 3rd year out of Rhode Island. Grant hits them both, his first 2 of the night. It's 11-8 Clippers. Now some backcourt pressure applied by Chicago. Gary Grant trying to beat it, almost stolen again by Michael. Grant goes wire to wire, dishes off to Kimball. Kimball lost the ball on the way up. Rebound, Benoit Benjamin, too strong off the glass. Rebound off the floor to Paxson.
You got to make the easy ones in a game like this.
Scottie Pippen trying to find that hot hand from outside. He's not been able to hit that shot very often all year. Still 11-8 Clippers. Nobody covering Grant, so he takes it himself. That one wouldn't go. Cartwright pulls away the rebound. Paxson's hit 2. He tries a 3-pointer and nails it. He's already hit his average points per game. He's got 7 in the first quarter. We're tied at 11.
He's just happy with the shot opportunities.
Now again, Kimball's shot partially blocked by Scottie Pippen, and the Bulls can grab the lead here.
So you'll see a lot of that. A lot of early shooting, bad percentage shots by the Clippers.
Paxson is deadly in this first quarter. And his high game for the season is 15 points. He's already got 9 in the first quarter.
Well, you see, they're so concerned with stopping Michael or Pippen off the dribble that Paxson is opening up for the uncontested jump shot. See, the Clippers are going to have to make a major decision now. Every time Michael puts the ball on the floor, they're running the off guard at him. But this opens up Paxson, and up until now, he's hit nothing but net.
Back to live action. Clippers ball. Grant tries the jumper and nails it over Paxson. Gary Grant's first 2 of the night. He's been averaging 9 points a game. We're tied at 13.
Now, this is what we thought we'd see earlier, right here.
But he kicks it right back out to Paxson, who's got the hot hand. And as long as he is as hot as he is, he has 12 points in this first quarter, including 2 3-pointers.
See, it's a chess game. If you stay at home at Paxson, that's going to allow Michael to go one-on-one down inside.
Kimball with the drive. His shot falls off the left of the rim. Goes out of bounds. Ball belongs back to the Chicago Bulls.
See, I'd say, talking to Mike Schuler before the game, one of the big problems they have here is shot discipline. You want to take shots that you know that you can make or shoot a high percentage, at least in your attempts.
And that was a case that they didn't double up on Michael. Left him open for his first 2 of the night. And Chicago has now opened up a 5-point lead. Down it comes to Benoit Benjamin. Kimball scoots it back out to Grant. Grant's going to take it. That's a 2-point effort. A little short of the shot. Rebound kept alive by Benjamin. Comes off the floor. Finally pulled away by Horace Grant. Bulls can open up a 7-point lead here.
In the early going, the Clippers are doing a nice job getting back defensively.
Oh, Michael got that one to fall. That's 4 points now for Jordan. A 14-2 run now for the Bulls. They've opened up a 7-point lead.
Remember how they got the lead? They worked down inside to Charles Smith. He hasn't touched the ball in the last 3 minutes.
He finally gets it back, takes the jumper over Grant. It wouldn't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Pippen. Lost his footing. Loose ball picked up by Benjamin. Kimball was thinking about shooting. Good thing he didn't. Nobody underneath. Garrett with the drive. And Tom Garrett to those first two. It's a 5-point Chicago lead. 5 minutes to go in the first. Grant trying to move around. Smith gets it to go for him.
Pretty move that time. He challenged. You know, Grant has that nice little baby hook shot, plus he can hit the 18 to 20-foot jump shot facing.
They've got Grant working on Paxson. Almost an air ball on that shot. Just did graze the rim. Pippen comes away with it. Bulls on the run. Paxson is deadly from out there. He has not missed. He is 6 out of 6 from the field in his first quarter. He already has 14 points, just one below his season high. It's 24-15. We get a timeout with 4:25 remaining.
You see, there's a very, very strong move that time by Grant. He has a very nice hook shot. You'll notice now that the Clippers are not double-teaming any of the post people other than Michael Jordan. Unfortunately for them in the early going, that's opening up Paxson. Mike Schuler called it a terrific timeout. He had to explain to his young people, will you please stay within the shot clock? Let's take good shot opportunities and go to our strength right now. You shoot quick. We get the long rebound. We cannot get any second shot opportunities.
Well, we'll see if they're able to use that clock any better the next few times. With a bad pass goes right through the legs of Charles Smith. Grant picks it up, trying to get it over to Pippen, but good hustle. Coming down the court by Martin. Jeff Martin, who's checked in. Got a hand on it, tipped it out. Still belongs to Chicago, but now the rest of his teammates can get back on defense.
Well, they have Jeff Martin in the game here for Bo Kimball.
Still Chicago's ball.
Now we have a wrestling match in the lane with Grant and Michael Jordan. Looks like a little tag team, PBS style.
And that was a steal out of the hands of Michael Jordan by Gary Grant. Rifles it on down to Garrett, whose jumper in for his 4th one of the night. It's a 24-17 Chicago lead.
Two big challenges for Chicago tonight. Take advantage of the mismatches and then get back in transition defense.
24-17. We got a whistle underneath. Loy Vaught's going to check in for the Clippers for the first time tonight, the rookie out of Michigan. Charles Smith will sit down. Smith very active in the first couple of minutes. Hadn't been heard from much since then.
This isn't amusing, but it is kind of interesting how the Clippers are manhandling Michael Jordan down inside, actually grabbing a hold of him, throwing him out of the way.
Grant takes the jumper over. Vaught wouldn't go. Benoit Benjamin pulls away the rebound. Grant to Garrett. Martin, nobody on him, takes the jumper, in and out, no good. Rebound Cartwright. Off to Paxson. Bulls up by 7, 3:20 to go, first quarter. Boy, he has not missed until now in this quarter. Paxson's first miss from outside all night.
Voigt is extremely tough on the boards. A miniature Charles Barkley or Charles Oakley. Led the Big Ten in rebounding. He really has a nice physique and he works hard.
Benjamin down low against Cartwright. Tried to hit Martin. Martin saves it inbounds. He ran out of time on the shot clock. Ball belongs to Chicago. And we're going to get a timeout here called with 2:47 in quarter number 1. The Chicago Bulls lead the LA Clippers here at the Sports Arena, 24-17. And I've heard of the 5 Jordan rules, but I didn't know the foxtrot was one of them.
Absolutely. Well, it's a little mugging, a little hand-holding. Now you watch as Michael will circle and come into the posted area. You'll see him down in there. It's really a good move by Grant. He gambles and goes for the steal. Now you might catch Michael one time. It'll be interesting to see if he can get away with that for the rest of the evening.
Key thing for the Bulls in the early going Phil Jackson's been trying to get everybody a little more involved in the offense besides that man. They'd like Michael's scoring to maybe be a little more balanced with some of his teammates this year. Well, that's been the case for Michael. His scoring is down, but a lot of his teammates haven't picked him up, and in this game, Paxson has.
But, you know, in looking at their stats, you'll see last year they were one of the better defensive teams that we had in this league. Extremely difficult to shoot a high percentage against. Right now, they're in the lower six in the league. Teams are shooting close to 49% against them. Highly irregular.
Stacey King in there now. Went up for the shot. Smith got a hand on it. Blocked it. It goes out of bounds, but it was last touched by King. It goes back to the Clippers. With 2.5 to go in the first. They'd like a little more out of Stacey King than what they've gotten so far. His scoring and rebounding are both down at about the same number of minutes from his rookie year.
Now you look at this Clipper group out on the floor right now. Of the 5 guys, they have no one shooting over 44%. So you would think they would work inside out, not outside with the long jumpers in.
And we're going to get a foul call on Scottie Pippen underneath. No, it's called on Michael Jordan. His first. Some other scores. Boston a halftime lead over Sacramento. Philadelphia up by 1 over Cleveland. Miami leading Charlotte at the half. Charlotte playing well in the early going. He said we'd see that. He'll do some air balls and some shots from outside. We've seen a couple of them from the Clippers.
Well, you know, we can't emphasize that enough. When you have guards, nobody shooting over 43%, they cannot be taking the majority of the shots.
Only the second miss from the field by John Paxson in the quarter. 24-17. Garrick on the run for the Clippers. And there's another Clipper turnover. They are among the leaders in the league in turnovers. That's their 5th already in this first quarter.
Well, when you coach a young group of players, A, they do not know one another. 2, you're trying to find out, you know, the speed of guys, where they like to receive the pass.
Well, that's one place that Bill Cartwright likes to receive one, right underneath for an easy 2 with 26-17, a 9-point Chicago lead now.
Nice.
Garrett drawing the crowd, has the ball tipped away and stolen by Pippen. Pippen goes wire to wire. He just weaved his way through the defenders there. That's a 11-point lead now for Chicago, 28-17. There's another open jumper, but this time Jeff Martin nails it. His first 2. Bulls by 9 with a minute to go in the first. By Vaught, but it comes right back into the hands of Scottie Pippen, and as Pippen front into the lane, he was fouled. Tom Garrett called for his second. Cliff Levingston and B.J. Armstrong checking in for Chicago. Pippen sitting down.
Now, out on this road trip, Pete, this second unit has been struggling. They just can't seem to get the feel.
Michael's long-range jumper wouldn't go. Rebound pulled away by the Clippers. Garrett bringing it down. Clippers down 28-19. Loy Vaught will take the shot. That's not his strength, outside shooting. And there's another shot missed from the field by the Clippers. Another rebound pulled away by the Bulls. Got about a 6-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Down to 6 seconds left now on the shot clock. Down to 3 left on the shot clock. B.J. Armstrong. Wouldn't go for him. Rebound off Levingston. Ball belongs to the Clippers, and they still have time. 6.4 seconds.
Plenty of time.
They'll have to do it against a little bit of Chicago pressure. Garrett gets it across the line. Kimball's going to launch one from out in 3-point land, and he nails it. Oh, Kimball with 5 first quarter points. Just did beat the clock there, and time expires. Ending quarter number 1. It's Chicago 28, the Clippers 22, but the Clippers got this crowd going with that 3-pointer to beat the buzzer.
On his last play, never leave a player, you know, totally open so that he gets off a shot right before the end of a quarter. The reason is that the player with the basketball was guarded perfectly by his man. You did not have to leave the open guy to double team him.
Quarter number 2 is about to begin. We've got Levingston, Armstrong, Michael Jordan, Stacey King, and Bill Cartwright on the court for Chicago. Benjamin, Smith, Garland, Kimball, and Vaught for the Clippers. And it comes to Stacey King, blocked by by Benoit Benjamin. All by himself, Charles Smith. He was the guy early for the Clippers. Maybe he can get them going again here in the second. They're down by 4 now.
He said at the top, Pete, you must get back into transition defense. The Clippers change it extremely well, especially Charles Smith at the big forward position.
BJ almost traveled. May have gotten away with the travel there. Michael inventing a shot on the way up. And a loose ball foul called against Chicago.
I love Vaughn. I'll tell you, he's a tough guy. Now watch this move right here, and there is your block. Beautiful. Benjamin read the play. They switched that time, and here they come to the other end of the floor. Now watch Charles Smith out in front of everyone. See, he puts the pressure on your big forward, and right now, that means that Stacey King is going to have to motor and change ends.
Garland front court for the Clippers to Jeff Martin. Down it comes to Benjamin. He had gotten a little push from Cartwright as he backed up to take that pass. Couldn't keep his footing.
Well, the old story, Pete, don't throw the ball to a pivot man unless he calls for it.
Cartwright with the miss, and rebound goes on the back. Still a 4-point Chicago lead.
See, we cannot underline enough the Clippers. They shoot quick. They've got to understand to slow things down, take a better shot. Just don't force the passes. Try not to thread the needle. Make good, solid passes because you're giving away so much height tonight.
Bulls have missed their last 7 field goal attempts.
Well, the frantic pace is definitely Clipper ball.
Especially when you're in the 6th game of a 7-game road trip like Chicago is. Teams get a little tired on these long trips. Clippers trying to get back to within 2. Garland gets it back over to Charles Smith over Stacey King. Smith is going again. He's got 13.
Oh, it's a beautiful game, Pete. He can play outside, inside. He runs hard on the break. He's on both boards.
They're getting ready to bring Horace Grant back in to try to do something about Charles Smith.
Just picked up a silly foul. He's trying to tell big player that foul is by Benjamin. Cartwright post up. Benjamin takes his hand and he pushes in the lower back. You know, you try to tell your guys, use your forearm on the people in the low post.
Grant in for Cartwright. Livingston trying to get underneath to Stacey King, but he was in some traffic there, and the turnover gives it right back to the Clippers. Good defense by the Clippers that time. Down to Benoit, working against King. Benoit, Benjamin with a jump hook. His first basket of the night, we're tied at 28.
He has a lot of confidence, Pete, in that jump hook, and also a little fadeaway jump shot in the lane.
The Clippers have scored the last 11 points in this game, and an offensive foul just been called against that man, Stacey King.
See, we said before, this second unit is not in any kind of a flow out on this trip. They just cannot seem to get the right 5 guys together to play good, solid basketball.
And they're trying still a different combination now as Will Perdue checks in, replacing Stacey King.
Keep an eye right here. See, that's totally unnecessary. That's nothing more than frustration.
And now the Clippers can grab the lead back if they can score on this trip. Benjamin tries that jump hook over Perdue. This time it wouldn't go. Cliff Livingston pulls down the rebound for Chicago off to B.J. Armstrong. Tied at 28, 9:15 to go in the half.
When you have young guards, you're always trying to get them to understand who the scorers are on the floor.
Well, they don't mind giving Livingston that shot, that jumper out from the top of the circle. He's not known for that one. Michael really hasn't been that involved in the offense. Starting to get that way. That one rolled off wide left. And we're going to stay right down that end of the court.
In the 3 minutes that we've played, Pete, we're seeing excellent hustle by the Clippers. Everyone is trying to make up for the lack of size out there with a lot of spirited play. They're going to force Michael Jordan to say, hey, listen, I got to take over this game early tonight.
Armstrong's going to try the long-range jumper. He hits that one. They'd like to get him going a little bit. He hasn't really played that well for them in the early going. It's a 2-point lead for Chicago. There's your time left in the half. Pete Van Weren, Hubie Brown with you from the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. A lot of sports activity going on in this neighborhood the last 3 or 4 days, and more to come over the weekend. A near steal by Grant, and there is the steal by Jordan. Down it comes to Horace Grant.
The Bulls are playing their type of basketball when you see them out in the open floor, taking advantage of either Pippen or Grant, you know, with their quickness along with Michael Jordan. So what you try to do at this end of the floor is protect the basketball, make solid passes.
Well, Benoit Benjamin's found a shot that he likes right now. He's gotten 1 out of 3 of them to fall. It's 32-28. And there's a steal by the Clippers. That was Winston Garland getting the hand on it. Charles Smith, the loose ball, back to Garland. Garland takes it over Grant. It's short. Rebound. Pulled away by Armstrong. And Loy Vaught's going to be called for that foul. So the rookie out of Michigan called for one. Gary Grant back in. Garland sits down. Here comes Jeff Martin back into the game. And Charles Smith will sit down now. So a lot of bench members for both teams out on that court now. 32-28, Chicago leading it.
When you coach this style of basketball, you're hoping that the fatigue factor will set in with the visiting team in that fourth quarter with about 6 or 7 minutes to go.
One reason why Phil Jackson's been giving Michael Jordan about 5 to 6 minutes off each night on this road trip in the fourth quarter. He has drawn a little criticism because of that. You've got to keep in mind with this 5-6 record Chicago has, 3 of those losses came at the buzzer. They lost to Washington, to Boston, and most recently to Phoenix right at the end of the game. Michael changed his mind about the shot, gave it to Will Perdue. Instead, Perdue will go to the line.
This year, the Chicago coaching staff is going to Will Perdue and to Stacey King, giving them major minutes behind Cartwright. Cartwright's minutes are way down. He's in the 20s. And it's not because of injuries. I talked to him before the game. He said that the spur that he had in the kneecap area is totally healed. He feels terrific this year.
Will Perdue at the line, third-year player out of Vanderbilt. They're trying to get him a little more playing time this year. Now Michael's going to sit down for the first time. Dennis Hobson, the acquisition from New Jersey, checks in. Jordan with only 4 points in the first half to this point. Perdue makes them both his first 2 of the night. Bulls have that lead back up to 6. They've scored the last 6 points. Grant drawing a trap at midcourt. Gets it across the line to Kimball. Benoit Benjamin goes to work on Perdue. Got the basket with the foul.
Excellent call by the referee on the baseline that time. Now, Billy Oates, when Benjamin turns to the baseline, watch how Perdue pushes him in the lower back. You'll see now, watch as he spins, boom, there's your forearm on the... Nice execution by Benoit.
So Benjamin going for his 5th point, his first trip to the line tonight. He now has 5 all in this quarter. Back to a 3-point lead for Chicago.
You see, Pete, that's the first time that Benjamin has showed him another move. You know,
instead of that jump hook,
there
right?
you go.
Pippen looking inside. Hobson's down there. He'll go to the line. Dennis Hobson.
I'm coaching Chicago. We can get that shot with our guards, either Hobson or Michael Jordan, every single time down the floor.
And the best you're going to get out of it is a trip to the free throw line, and that's what we've got. Hobson at the line as play resumes. They're not expecting Harper back until about January. The Danny Manning situation seems to vary from day to day. There's Danny on the left of your screen. Maybe Sunday he might be back, but even if he is, he hasn't had much of a chance to play or practice with this team. So how much are you going to get out of him right away?
There you go. Absolutely, Pete.
36-31, 6:55 to go. Some backcourt pressure applied by the Bulls. Clippers having a little trouble beating it. Now Smith gets it across the line, takes it all the way in. There's some of that athletic ability that Hubie's been talking about from Charles Smith. He has 15 points.
I'll tell you, I love his game. He can do it all. There isn't any major weakness in his offensive game.
Scottie Pippen just has not been able to hit that shot on this trip. Grant misses the follow-up. And Hobson got all the way up. They're going to call it on Vaught. His second.
See, when you look at the Clippers, Pete, a big negative steps out at you, and that, forget the shooting. We know that. But they do not rebound well. And they have a number of guys, 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot. They're young. They have great jumping ability, but they hit major lulls in the game where they do not take care of their own defensive rebounding.
Well, so many times you see 4 of them break trying to get a quick transition basket, only leaving one man underneath. That could be a reason. They're outmanned under there.
Oh, is that right? You figured this out, right?
Hobson did 3 out of 4. 37-33. Grant across the line. Armstrong picks him up.
This is 3-man basketball on one side of the floor.
And Smith couldn't get it. Grant got a hand on it, broke it up.
See, once again, stop trying to thread the needle, make the meat and potato pass.
Hobson getting that shot again. This time nobody was on him. He got it to fall. He's got 5 in the quarter. It's a 6-point Chicago lead, 39-33. Smith missing that time. Pippen pulls away the rebound. Scottie Pippen's done a pretty good job on the boards. Hasn't done much to contribute to the scoring. Hobson trying to get hot in this quarter. So far, so good for Dennis Hobson. 7 points in the quarter, an 8-point Chicago lead.
Well, it's interesting because Hobson's entire game since he's entered is below the foul line today. You know, let's face it, he's been in the league 3 years and he has never shot over 43%.
Double screen set. Kimball takes advantage of that. He has 7.
Interesting when the Clippers take their time and work things around and run a decent play. They can make those open shots.
Cross court it comes to B.J. Armstrong. His shot a little strong. Purdue got a hand on it, then pulled it away. He's done a lot of work on the weights to try to strengthen his upper body to help him on rebounds just like that one. Down to 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Tipped away. Hobson gets it back. He's going to have to put the shot up as time was running out on the clock, and there's a silly foul. Kimball called for it.
Cardinals denim basketball. Fouling the jump shot.
With time running out on the shot clock and a bad shot really being attempted there, being forced, Kimball sits down. Jeff Martin checks back in for the Clippers. And here's Hobson at the line. He's 3 out of 4 at the line. All of his points have come in this second quarter. And he and John Paxson have been a big part of the Chicago offense in this first half. Paxson 14 points in the first quarter. Hobson going for his 9th point here in the second quarter. They have combined for 23 of Chicago's 43 points. Bulls up by 8. Pippen comes over to help out. Smith thinking about it. Gives it right back to Benoit, working on Will Purdue. It wouldn't go. Benjamin shot missing. Another rebound, Scottie Pippen. 7 rebounds for Scottie Pippen. Hobson shot wouldn't go. Will Purdue pulls down another one. That one rolled around and out. Tipped out of bounds. It belongs still to Chicago.
See, once again, Chicago is out on the break. The Clippers do a nice job getting back. Transition defense. They force the miss, and then they lose 2 straight rebounds.
Benoit Benjamin getting a rare break in this first half. Ken Bannister checks in to replace him. And we're going to get a timeout call here by Chicago. 4:13 remaining in the first half. The Chicago Bulls getting great play to their backcourt tonight, leading the LA Clippers 43-35. Chicago's ball as play resumes. The Bulls trying to get that lead in the double figures.
First time we're seeing this nice half-court trap.
Drawing the double team. That forced a bad shot. And the Clippers with a chance to pull back to within 6 now. They come down to Ken Bannister. His first 2 of the night.
I think Kenny Bannister can score down in that low post area. You cannot let him post you up in the lane right in front of the basket.
This time the Bulls beat the double team of the ball, a little bit better ball movement, and Grant follows up the middle shot by Armstrong. Horace Grant with 8.
Once again, the offensive board. difference in the game is that the Clippers cannot get a second shot, where at the other end, Chicago is shooting, missing, and getting 2 and 3 opportunities.
Charles Smith. They send it back around to Jeff Martin. He tries, runs it out in three-point line and nails it.
He has a nice perimeter game. He was an excellent long-distance shooter in college.
Purdue finds Armstrong open along the baseline. BJ's jumper a little strong. There's another Chicago offensive board. Will Purdue got foul on the way up. He's pulled down 3 offensive rebounds since he checked into the game.
The guy who's keeping things alive, though, is Horace Grant. He has got his hand on the last 2 trips down the floor on the missed shot, allowing Purdue to get the second shot attempt. But you got to give Purdue his due. He's taking advantage of the 240 pounds and banging people around.
His second trip to the line tonight. He hit the first 2 free throw attempts. Here comes John Paxson back in. B.J. Armstrong sitting down. Paxson was red hot in that first quarter. 14 points, all from the field. 2 3-point baskets. Purdue makes them both. He has 4 in the night. 47-40. With just under 3 minutes to go in the half. Coming around the screens is Martin. That leaves him open for the shot, but the shot way off. And the rebound pulled away again by Scottie Pippen. That's 8 rebounds in the first half for Pippen. There's Paxson coming up short of the underhand layup again. Bannister pulls away the rebound. Grant runs into Pippen. They're going to call a travel on Gary Grant.
Well, the reason why I'm filming, everyone's upset, is that the referee down the floor made the call. The referee 5 feet away had no call. That's the reason why everybody is upset here. There's your trap.
And Pippen has to get rid of it to Paxson. Over it comes to Hobson. Back out to Paxson. They're trying to get Paxson going again, and they have. That's a season high for John Paxson. He has 16 points in this first half. Charles Smith moved down low, taking the basket, and drew the foul as well.
Well, the coaching staff at Chicago very upset. They felt that Smith jumped back into the defensive player, forcing that foul opportunity. But hey, I would be wearing Smith out right now. The way he started out this ball game, you know he wants the basketball. He's shooting a very high percentage tonight. You've got to make Chicago stop him.
With this collection of young players, might you say that Charles Smith might be trying to show a little leadership of his own to try to establish a little more maturity on his club? 29-43, 2:03 to go. Pippen kicks it back out to Paxson. Boy, he has been deadly in this first half. Paxson has 18 first half points.
Paxson hasn't dribbled the ball yet, has he?
Catch and shoot. Catch and shoot at the end of the game.
That's right.
Season high for Paxson. And we're still in the second quarter. Benjamin's jump hook over Cartwright comes up short. Another rebound for Scottie Pippen. He has 9 rebounds in the first half. Paxson catches and shoots. He is unconscious in his first half. He has 20. It's a 10-point Chicago lead.
When you're playing against a guy who's just spotting up, he hasn't dribbled the ball yet on any of his jump shots. You've got to stay with him and force him to dribble the basketball.
Despite drawing the double team, Charles Smith still takes the shot. Great tip off by Jeff Martin. Gives him 7 points in the game. He'll have a chance for 8. He got fouled.
Bill Cartwright, exasperated, did not want to foul, but just watch Jeff coming from the right of your screen, how he scissors in here. Look at that. Outstanding, outstanding.
Jeff Martin was a second-round draft pick out of Murray State last year. A lot of people didn't think he would stick around too long, but he has not only stuck around, he's become a pretty important member of this club. He's in their 8-man rotation.
Well, he can play second guard as well as small forward, and you know that he has a nice perimeter J.
Scottie Pippen finally gets one of those jump shots to fall for him. His first J of the night that hits. He now has 4. It's 55-46. You see the time left in the first half.
See, Scotty's loving this game. He can beat every guy that's playing him off the dribble, so he's either going to get an assist or a shot.
Winston Garland putting up the shot, no good. Another Chicago rebound. Boy, you're right about the offensive rebounds. I don't know what that was supposed to be. It looked like a bowler when he got up in the air. 55-46 still. Garland underneath to Martin. Had to change the shot because of Grant and Cartwright. Boy, his block gets it, puts it up, and the third time is a charge.
He's a worker, Pete. I'm telling you, he really has some raw tools.
Big and strong and wide. 55-48. About a 5-second differential on the shot clock. You know what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get that man free. He has rarely missed. They better hurry up now. 2 seconds left to shoot it. They just do beat the clock, and they use the time beautifully. Scottie Pippen with 6 points. 57-48. Only 5 seconds to go in the half. Martin had it tipped away from behind by Paxson. Still got the three-shot away, and it fell for him just as it did for Bo Kimball to end the first quarter. Well, the Clippers are doing that right. They have found a way to beat the clock 2 straight quarters. And we go to halftime. It's the Chicago Bulls leading, but it's the Clipper fans cheering after another 3-point basket.
I think Paxson should split his per diem tonight with Pippen. What do you think?
20 first-half points for Paxson, already a season high. He is in his 8th year in the league. His career high is 27. He needs just 4 more baskets to beat it. Well, here we go, third quarter underway. Michael Jordan thinking about the shot that time. Grant's on him, sends it across to Paxson. They're going to see if, well, no, he's not going to get the shot out this time. Instead, it's Horace Grant who does. And Grant is in double figures now with 10.
See, that's good, smart basketball. Make the extra pass, run the shot clock down, take the high percentage shot.
Clippers down by 9 in the opening minute of quarter number 3, and they're going to go to work on Grant again. Smith underneath. He has had good success doing that all night long. He has 20.
Not only is he 6'10", Pete, but he's got the long arms. So when he shoots that fadeaway, it's impossible to get up there and intimidate the shot.
Nice pass underneath to Horace Grant for 2 more. Give the assist to Michael Jordan. 12 points now for Grant, back to a 9-point lead.
They call that court awareness, Pete. That's what it is.
They call that a third eye, I think. Pippen's on Kimball. Out it comes to Grant. They try to send it underneath to Benoit Benjamin, and we get a whistle away from the ball.
Oh, that's right from the opening tap. Cartwright and Benjamin bumping one another around, not allowing the guy to get down in and set up in his favorite spot. They've been pushing one another out an extra 2 to 3 feet, taking them out of their range.
Third foul called against Bill Cartwright.
Oops.
And Benjamin going up for the shot, got fouled there.
Good foul that time by Scottie Pippen. Benjamin knocked Cartwright right to the floor. Now Cartwright is really perturbed right now. He was trying to front Benjamin. Benjamin put him down. And then instead of allowing Benjamin the uncontested dunk, Pippen came right down, fouled him, and say, hey, let me see you make 2 foul shots.
So Benoit, who had 5 first-half points, starts out the second half with a free throw.
Mike Schuler told me in the exhibition that he played outstanding basketball, but he injured his shoulder posting up in a scrimmage with Ken Bannister on their own ball club, and he dislocated the right shoulder a little bit, and consequently he has not come back to the form that he displayed during the exhibition season.
Michael's jumper comes up short. Rebound is saved in bounds by Grant to Paxson, back to Pippen. Over it comes to Michael Jordan again.
Once again, Grant with his hand on the offensive rebound.
Michael tried to get the pass across to Paxson again. This one stolen by Garland. Gary Grant to the left. Gary Grant has 4, and the Clippers are back to within 5.
You're visiting coach in this building tonight, Pete. Sellout crowd. The building hasn't been roaring yet because you just can't seem to get the lead, but you're hanging around close enough to be very dangerous.
Well, even though the building is full, it's so dark in those seats, the players don't know it. Very few lights when you get to the seating area here at the sports arena once the game starts. (61-56) the score. Chicago up by 5. Pete Van Weren, Hubie Brown with you. There's Mike Schuler.
7 seconds on the clock.
They get it in to Bill Cartwright. His turnaround jumper good. Nice decision that time by Paxson. Getting it into Cartwright. The lead back up to 7. There's the way to answer that. Charles Smith, 22 now.
He lead is so tough. See, Grant just can't figure out whether he should play behind him, play him on the side. He should change up and possibly front him every so often and do not allow them to get the first pass into him.
Scottie Pippen now has 8 points. The lead back up to 7 for Chicago. A little over 9 to go in the third quarter. Smith over Grant again. This time it wouldn't go, and there's another rebound for Scottie Pippen. He now has 10 rebounds. He already is in double figures with assists. He needs one more basket for the triple-double. And that time, Benoit Benjamin reaching in, called for the foul.
Now watch Grant fighting here. See, Smith holds him, and now he just will not allow him up over the top. Well, that's a tough gamble because of the length of the arms of Smith. All you have to do is put it up to the corner of the board, and he'll be in business all night long.
Underneath to Scottie Pippen.
Nice.
Great shovel pass over to Bill Cartwright, and Cartwright has 8 points, and that lead back up to 9 now for Chicago.
Isn't it interesting? The last 4 times down the floor, they're getting all the passes down inside to the painted area, and Chicago's just scoring at will.
And they've built the lead back up to 9. Grant trying to reach in. He's going to be called for the foul this time. That's a foul of frustration, as Grant has been unable to handle Smith all night long.
Now you see, here's a pushing off. See, rather than play him on the side, he should try to play him on the side and deny the pass. Now this is hand-to-hand combat right here.
And an offensive foul is going to be called this time. That's the third called against Benjamin. The ball goes back to Chicago. They can get that lead back up into double figures now. Michael, who has not been heard from much tonight, might decide to change that at any minute. He has 6 in the game now. It's an 11-point Chicago lead.
We said right at the top of the show, there is no way that the Clippers can stop them down inside tonight.
8:01 to go, third quarter. Chicago's got that lead up to 11 points, and they got the ball back. Chicago's hit their last 5 field goal attempts as they have opened up the bigger lead.
When you're coaching in a game like this, you must be very careful and not to allow a team like Chicago to get out to like 15 ahead.
Cartwright will make a trip to the free throw line after drawing the foul.
The reason why I bring out that point is that the Bulls can become a very methodical half-court execution team, run the shot clock, play power basketball, and just keep it at 10 to 15 the rest of the way. You must be extremely careful there.
You got to be a little concerned, too, when you're down by 11 points at home to Chicago, and Michael Jordan really hasn't been heard from hardly at all tonight.
Well, he's in cruise control tonight.
Letting some of his teammates take over the point of the offense. Paxson with 20. And Cartwright now at 9. Biggest lead of the night for Chicago, a 12-point lead. 7:45 to go in the third.
Chicago's playing the guards a little bit tougher now, forcing them further away from the basket.
Stolen by Scottie Pippen over to Michael Jordan. Behind the back to Pippen. Pippen has a triple-double, and we still have 7:23 to go in the third quarter. Watch a little showtime with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen as we go out. Pippen now at 10 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, a triple-double. We still have 7:23 to go in the third quarter. And the Clippers have to be getting a little concerned here now. They're down by 14, and the momentum has been all Chicago in this third quarter. They have close to within 7 at halftime. Look at the crowd. Charles Smith is drawing now. And there's another steal by Michael Jordan. He leads Scottie Pippen with a football pass down front. A good D that time by the Clippers. Ball still belongs to Chicago. 13 turnovers in the game now for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Now the Clippers really hustled. Garland and Grant made 2 really good defensive plays the last 2 trips.
Martin with a near steal, and that pass to Grant comes back to Scottie Pippen.
See, he knows that he can take Charles off the dribble here.
Kicked out by Smith. And a fresh 24 going the clock for Chicago.
See, you really have to like the way Chicago's playing. They're playing with a lot of intelligence. All the shots are from the foul line down, you know, through the first 5.5 minutes of this quarter. High percentage shots and taking advantage of the size difference.
Pippen underneath. Cartwright's follow-up wouldn't go. Rebound pulled away by one of the smaller men out there, Winston Garland. He's got Michael on him, so he's going to have to find something else to do with it. Benjamin takes a spill underneath. He and Cartwright continue to bang away. Down to 6 seconds left on the shot clock. That's been their answer all night. 24 points for Charles Smith, but it's still a 12-point Chicago lead. Well, we'll see if Paxson is as hot in this half as he was in the first. So far, so good for John Paxson. 22 points, 10 for 13 from the field. Only 5 points away from his career, not just season, but career high. And there's one of those ill-advised long shots for the Clippers. Rebound pulled away again by Chicago. Michael Jordan open. He has 8. And lead up to 16 now. The Bulls beginning to pull away.
See, the Clippers this half are struggling feet, bad passing angle. They're missing a ton of shots. They're getting no second shot attempts, and most of all, no easy baskets. Nothing on the fast break.
Garland saw Martin underneath, but he missed the jam. Scottie Pippen was in his face. Rebound comes away to Chicago again.
Give the Bulls credit. They're playing excellent half-court defense, doing a real nice job.
Well, there's a Chicago turnover. There haven't been many of them tonight. Only the 8th Chicago turnover of the night. Scottie Pippen called for fouling the ball. 5:18 remaining now in the third. Here it's 76-60. Be interesting to look at a shot chart from this third quarter. Where Chicago has gotten their shots from, where the Clippers have gotten their from. You can see a big difference there. See how hard the Clippers have to work to try to find somebody open. Kimball really had to force that, but his athletic ability got that basket.
That's the first basket that they've had on a layup with any kind of ball movement. They have not been able to beat the Bulls off the dribble to create anything, and then there is no movement in their offense.
And Michael might just be warming up. He has 10 now, 6 in this quarter. It's 78-62.
I know we're not doubting him. He can turn it on.
He's been so quiet in the first half, you just kind of anticipate that sometime during this second half, he's going to take over this game for a couple of minutes. And we're going to get a loose ball foul call underneath. I think it's on Smith.
I think it's a very tough cover for Grant down inside. It doesn't matter where you play. How about that? A little head fake and you step away from the man. Michael Jordan not only is a great perimeter shooter, last year he increased into the three-point range. When he's down inside the foul line, we know facing the basket, he's impossible to guard one-on-one. But with his back to the basket, he has so many moves.
And he can play a little defense and do a few other things, too. Stacey King has just checked into the game.
A lot of patience here.
Looks like a yo-yo that time when he takes the pass, takes a jumper, and short, though, and the rebound pulled away by Bernard Benjamin.
Well, he knows without even straining, he can shoot up over the top of Grant.
Clippers quickly down court, take the first shot available. 78-62 still Chicago. Again, only one shot attempt by the Clippers, but there's a turnover. It comes right back to Los Angeles. Winston Garland on the run, going to take it himself. Short again. Cartwright, another Bulls rebound. It's one shot and over for the Clippers, each trip down.
When you get the easy ones in this style of play, you must shoot a high percentage. Let's go back to the top of the show. They're starting 5 guys on this team. Nobody's shooting over 44%, so you know they missed an awful lot of easy shots.
He has hardly missed all night. John Paxson with 24 points.
Well, let's give the Clippers their due. You put Danny Manning, Kenny Norman, and Ron Harper into this lineup. All of a sudden now, the shots are being taken by players who shoot over 50%.
Yeah. And there you can see the bench of the Clippers as they try to get everybody healthy. If anything can be said positively about having an injury situation, the one thing you can say about the Clippers is at least these injuries are happening to them early in the season. And if they can stay around the 500 level until they get these people back, they might be able to put that little push on to make the playoffs in the second half.
Well, Mike Schuler said, listen, this is more talent than I had when I took over the Portland Trailblazers. That's a big statement.
So what did you say, 8 number 1 picks on this team and everybody's healthy? Look at Scottie Pippen work. He is putting together a good ball game. He has 12 points, a chance to make it 13.
Well, you first of all, you got a young team. You got to know one another. You got to know the strengths on the break, who to give the ball to, who not to. And then you have to understand who can shoot in certain areas. Then you pull it all together and you say, hey, look, team, let's understand high percentage shot attempts, no turnovers, no forced turnovers, and let's take care of the defensive board. Then they'll have the package.
And trying to teach that style of play with a young ball club. You may get some very erratic plays in this club, especially early in the year, until these players are a little more used to each other, until they get the people back, of course, too. 83-62, a 21-point Chicago lead now. Michael has got that tongue out as if to say it's about time for me to take over this game for a little while. He may get some minutes on the bench in this one as Phil Jackson has to save some people for Denver tomorrow night.
Well, you think about it here now. If we're with the Bulls and we were to take away Grant, Pippen, and Michael Jordan, I think the Clippers would be holding their own in here tonight. Well, you know, you take
a handicap system,
right.
like in golf.
You take away Norman, Harper, and Danny Manning, and, you know, that's a trade-off.
That's right. Well, John Paxson is 1 point away from matching his career high. He is 12 out of 16 from the field. It's now a 21-point lead. Will Kimball launching a three. Michael Jordan pulls down another Chicago rebound.
He's struggling on threes, but let's face it, that NBA three is a little bit further out than the college line. It's like a step and a half further away.
And that can seem like a mile at times. The Clippers, by the way, do not have a single offensive rebound in this quarter. Laurie Vaught pulls away a board there. Off it comes to Garrett. Vaught's going to take the short range jumper off the glass. Laurie Vaught, the rookie out of Michigan, has 4 points tonight. It's still a comfortable Chicago lead. Less than a minute to go now in the third. Casey King posted up against Vaught. His jumper wouldn't go, and there's the 10th rebound of the night, pulled away by the Michigan rookie. It was a bear on the boards. Kimball going to be called to the offensive foul. He has 4 personal.
Kimball is so fortunate because he's getting an opportunity to get major minutes with Ron Harper being out. He's got to understand control. And by that I mean stop forcing shots. He's only shooting 39%. And many times he'll force the three, and then he gets exasperated, and he'll do exactly what he just did there. He will try to take his man off the dribble and jump into him and try to make something, try to create it. In this league, the guys are too big, they lay off of you, and they force the charge, and they block your shot or intimidate you.
Scott Williams, the rookie out of North Carolina, has checked into the Chicago lineup for the first time. Underneath it comes Dennis Hobson. There is Scott Williams losing the ball. Vaught gets it. You see the time remaining. Clippers have beaten the buzzer to end each of the first 2 quarters. This time it'll be Garland going to the free throw line. And Gibby, there's something we'll have a chance more in the 4th quarter to talk about that I want you to get into. There's going to come a point in this season when Harper does get back that someone's going to have to accept fewer minutes. And that's something that Mike Schuler is going to have to keep in mind. He's given a lot of these young players a lot of minutes now, but when Harper gets back in there, somebody's going to have a little more bench time. That's never an easy situation for a coach to handle. That won't count. It is Vaught, Benjamin, Garrett, Grant, and Kimball on the court now for the Clippers. They're going that small lineup again. Stacey King, Michael Jordan, Williams, Paxson, and Hobson for Chicago. I want to get into that more with you, Hubie, about how a coach handles a situation like Mike Schuler knows he's going to have when some of his regular players start getting healthy again, and some of the people getting key minutes now will not once the Harpers and the Mannings and the Normans get back.
Well, everything starts at the top with winning, Pete. Because the people then who become disenchanted as role players, you know that you make a decision now whether you still want them within your framework as long as the team is winning. Can they make a contribution? If they can, you keep them. If not, let's get rid of them. You don't need malcontents because the team is getting W's. That's the key.
Another Clipper miss, another Chicago rebound. That's pretty much been the story tonight. 85-66, fourth quarter just underway. Foul again by Benoit Benjamin, his fourth, reaching over the shoulders of the rookie, Williams.
Well, you know, you look at Benjamin and you say, when is this guy going to mature into the player that everyone says? He's one of the 5 best players, centers that we have in the league, except he doesn't play like that night in and night out. You know, he's 7 foot, 270 pounds, he can block shots, and he can do a lot of things, but will he do it consistently?
Another turnover by the Clippers, and it comes right back to Dennis Hobson.
Nice.
Michael Jordan will go to the free throw line.
Benjamin hurt the shoulder. The shoulder that he had the slight dislocation.
The right shoulder.
The right side. He went up and he blocked that. He waited for Michael, got the block, picked up another foul. Right, but he was trying to work it out.
You can see him flexing that shoulder on the lower left-hand corner of your screen as Michael Jordan goes to the free throw line. Take another look.
It's a very nice choice here by Hobson. See, now watch. There go. He tried for the block. He did get the ball, but they catch him with the hip and the leg.
Jordan makes them both. He now has 12 on the night, and that'll lead up at 21 points now.
See, on this team, in Smith and Benjamin, you have the 7th and 8th ranked shot blockers in this league.
Benoit leaning in, lost the ball as he went to the court with it, got it back, and rolls loose. Hobson almost gets a handle on it. Nearly another Clipper turnover. There is the Clipper turnover. The steal by Hobson. It's a 3-on-1. Paxson going for a career high. He needs just one more point to match his career high in the NBA.
Now that was a terrific block by Kimball. But you'll notice now, just watch as he goes up. He catches him with his body. He makes the block. See, he got him with the forearm. That's what Paxson wanted.
Hobson takes the shot, hits it, and he'll have a chance for a 3-point play here. Hobson now with 11 points. And he's done something you were just talking about, a player accepting a lesser role in the club, going from being a key player, a starter for many games with the New Jersey ball club, to a role player on the Chicago team.
Well, let's stop and answer that one, Pete, okay? They made a trade. They traded for him. He didn't come here as a free agent.
But he's had to accept a lesser role in
Oh, he did. Now, how about the fact that there's a guy sitting on his bed, quality, one of the great three-point shooters of all time in this league, Craig Hodges, who Hobson is getting Hodges' minutes.
That's right. In fact, we haven't seen Craig Hodges in the game at all tonight.
That's absolutely right. And that's what we talk about when you talk to guys about accepting being on a winning team. Now, Hobson will get the run early in this year, but he better produce by the time January comes around. If he doesn't, you'll see Hodges right back in there.
89-66 Chicago. They're trying to even up this road trip record. There's Williams. They're getting him some minutes tonight. Scott Williams, the rookie out of North Carolina. It's now a 25-point lead.
And you'll see Phil Jackson maneuvering his substitutions because they have the game tomorrow night in Denver, and we all know that it will be 100 at halftime.
A dismal night thus far for the Los Angeles Clippers, and for that man in the middle, the owner of this club, Donald Sterling. And here's what the Clippers are fighting going into this year as they try to remake their image, Hubie.
Well, you know, you look at that, 13 coaches, let's face it, no stability there. They were 23rd and 23rd in road and home wins during a period of time. That's last, and they have not been in the playoffs in 15 years. Now, you're Mike Schuler. Well, how do you overcome all of this? Well, first of all, you ask management for things which you feel that you need. He told me today that they have given him everything that he has asked for. So that's a good, a good thing with the management.
Including, he hopes, time. He got one of the longer contracts for a new coach coming into this Clipper situation than any of the others before him did.
But he said the problem that I have is that we have a lot of young guys who do not understand the maturity process of toughness, of playing night in and night out, and then the mental toughness in the last 2 minutes of the game. We lose a lot of games on the foul line in the last 2 minutes, and we think we're playing hard, but we really are not. And then when you show it to them on the tape, they can't believe that it was them. You see, that's the toughest thing about coaching in this type of situation.
There's a good defense shot that time by Scott Williams, who blocked the shot of Benoit Benjamin and got the ball back. Jordan out there, Williams, Armstrong, King, and Hobson. 4 bench players, and Michael on the court now for Chicago. And some of the Chicago starters are getting some significant rest tonight before that meeting in Denver tomorrow night.
Well, they know tomorrow night they have to have practice.
You know what Paul Westwood's opinion of the 24-second clock is? You have to get off 4 shots during that time. 91-66 our score. It's been all Chicago since early in the third quarter. Clippers gave a little run in the first half. And Michael Jordan at the line, he has 12 tonight.
See, I like what Phil Jackson is doing right now. This Charles Smith, who's been having a big-time night here. If you're going to make any kind of a comeback, he must be in the game. But they're keeping Michael Jordan on the floor here with the 4 substitutes to give them the stability. And in case the offense breaks down, you know that you can hit Michael, and he can make something happen for them in the last 3-4 seconds of the shot clock.
93-66 with a little over 9 minutes to go. Clippers, by the way, have had a lot of favorable things on their schedule. A lot of home games early in there. That's going to change for them shortly. 9 of their next 13 games will be on the road. Now the Clippers, who are on this long road trip, get to look forward to some home cooking for a while. They have 14 of their next 17 games at home. Well, Benoit Benjamin gets one to fall for. He's got 9 and a chance to go into double figures here if he can hit the free throw.
Now, we have just played 12 minutes in the third quarter, 3 minutes in this quarter, and that is the Clippers' first offensive rebound in the second half, playing 15 minutes of basketball.
And it took them 3 minutes in this fourth quarter to get any points whatsoever. That's the first basket of the final quarter by the Clippers.
So I don't think it's hard to figure out this game. You know, Chicago has gone to their strength, everything below the foul line. The other guys are shooting quick, getting no second shot opportunities, shooting a low percentage. So invariably, you're going to be behind because the Chicago Bulls play solid team half-court defense. At least they've upgraded it tonight.
Clippers not getting to the line much tonight either. That was only their 6th free throw attempt of the night. They've made them all, but only 6 out of 6. 93-69 Chicago.
Pete, you can't get to the foul line if you cannot beat people off the dribble going to the basket, or when we throw it into you in the post area, you shoot a fadeaway jump shot.
There's some other scores coming in now. Final from Boston, a final. Philadelphia bounced back and won that one. They were trailing late. Miami, a road win in Charlotte. Our team has been playing quite well this year. Detroit just pulling away now from Washington. And Indiana gets Houston at the end by 1. Now a lot of people getting into the game.
Right now, Mike Schill is trying to pull out all the stops. Let's play half-court trapping basketball. Anytime the ball goes to the wing, double team. Let's see if we can cut off the passing lanes and make some steals.
Cliff Livingston, who hasn't got 90 minutes tonight, in there now. But all they got to do that time was watch Jeff Martin put in 2 points.
See, that's the first time they've run that set all night long, and they had a clear-cut layup.
Armstrong over to Grant. Grant's jumper wouldn't go. Rebound. Where does it belong to? Still belongs to Chicago. Bulls up by 22. Williams over Benjamin. Scott Williams showing a little something in this fourth quarter. Hasn't got a chance to play much for the Bulls so far this year.
Let's face it, he wasn't even drafted.
Right.
You know, they pick him up, bring him to camp, did a real nice job in the summertime, did a good job in the fall, and here he is.
Near steal by Hobson. Grant gets it back. Martin couldn't get the jumper to fall. Another Chicago rebound. Grant pulled that one down. Trying to find Livingston underneath. And again, Hugh, you're seeing that combination on the court. Michael Jordan sitting down now, but they bring Horace Grant in off the starting unit to play with the 4 guys off the bench.
Yeah, I like that. You like to have veteran guys out there, especially you have 2 new players. Now, see, Williams, he was determined to put his body on the man that time because he thought he took a cheap shot as the ball went out of bounds.
A moment ago, you saw John Paxson sitting on the bench.
Okay, we
Kind of like to see him get back in the game to get a shot at a career high. He's only 1 point away from it. That's exactly what Hubie's been talking about all night. One shot effort, that one left for Jeff Martin. 14th.
He's really had a nice game tonight, Pete. You know, he and Charles Smith were the only two people in double figures at halftime.
Williams taking the jumper over Benjamin. Scott Williams is hit for 6 points. That's the most he's ever scored in one game in his brief NBA career.
Well, if you remember, you know, he came from this area to the East Coast to play at the University of North Carolina, and, you know, he kind of like plateaued out. He never really blossomed into the dominant player that they thought he would be. But it's nice to see that he's got his game together now.
Charles Smith had a big first half. There's an offensive board again by Benoit Benjamin. They've got a couple of them in this half. But that's the only one they get. Livingston gets the next rebound off to B.J. Armstrong. Grant trying to hit Livingston underneath, and Steph found Williams. And that was an accidental rebound for Benoit Benjamin. Game right to him. 6.5 minutes to go. A 24-point Chicago lead.
See, the guy with the ball right now has been quiet tonight. Gary Grant. He's one of your premier players. You're looking for him to play big in a game like this. Extremely quiet in the point production.
Livingston kicks it back out to Armstrong. Dennis Hobson, not even close with that one. Another rebound for Benjamin. Grant has Martin on the wing, and Martin will put on 2 more. He now has 16. But the lead still very much Chicago's.
You're looking at your second unit and you're saying to them, listen, will you please run the plays? Run the plays, run some time, let's get good quality shots, and we want you to be unselfish. Give up the basketball.
B.J. Armstrong now has 4. That lead back up to 24. Bulls, if they don't fall completely apart here at the end of the game, will go back to the 500 level. This will be their 6th win in 12 games. And it'll drop the Clippers a game under 500. Charles Smith, 26 points, but most of the production coming in the first half. Second half, they really haven't gotten much out of Smith.
Nice pass.
And it pays off, and 2 more points for Dennis Hobson, who now has 13, matching his season high.
It's an easy game if you play inside out. You get it down inside, make the defense commit, then hit the free people, and you'll always end up with nice shot opportunities.
How many times did you tell players that in your career as a coach?
It's an everyday deal, Pete. Come on.
It is 101-79 now, 4:45 remaining. And a lot of fans head for home. Hobson's open. Martin came over, let him change that shot a little bit. Benjamin pulls down the rebound. Hobson got up in the air, got a hand on it, but was trying to go down court to Martin. And the Bulls will walk it back up again.
Well, the last 2 jumps out, Hobson is fading back on the shot. He's catching in front of the rim.
Cliff Livingston off the glass. Wouldn't go. Another Benjamin rebound. Here is a point, QB, that I want to talk about for a second as we go into the closing minutes. Garland's going to get a chance for a 3-point play here. Benoit Benjamin's pulled out about 5 rebounds in this 4th quarter. So you're going to look at that box score tomorrow, and his rebounding numbers are going to look pretty good. But the key question is, when did those rebounds come? Did they come when the game was on the line, or did they come at garbage time?
Yeah, well, it's definitely against the second unit. There's no doubt about that. He did not play big. They needed a big game from him tonight. And I don't mean in the scoring point. I meant on the defensive rebounding and in the shot blocking. He was non-existent. Now, you know, you're talking about this is his, 5th year in this league. You're expecting him to mature and to accept the responsibility. He's got to play big.
Will Purdue is going to be called for that foul.
How about this stuff? The Chicago Bulls are 0-6 when the opposition scores over 100 points. Huh. I saw you take a peek at the board.
The importance of defense.
I think there's a lot of pressure on the Bulls this year. It's interesting how all the different magazines and the newspaper articles, the so-called authorities here.
Here comes Craig Hodges in for the first time, by the way.
Now, this is difficult to do, he said, for a veteran guy who you know is going to be playing for you at playoff time when the money is on the line. You're going to need his 3-point shooting. And talking the game. He accepts all this because he's been around a long time. He started here, by the way. He was drafted by the Los Angeles Clippers and went to Milwaukee and had a fantastic career.
Out of Long Beach State. 103-83. Bulls by 20. 3:40 remaining. Back to your point about why this is going to be a difficult year for Chicago. Because of the preseason build-up, you think?
Absolutely. See, there's so much pressure on them to dethrone Detroit. And the only cop-out that people have, they say Detroit's getting old. Well, they keep reinforcing themselves by picking up Rollins. And, I think their regular group, by re-signing Vinnie Johnson, they're going to be murdered at playoff time. But see, when you're for Chicago, you say, hey, they beat us 4-2, and then last year 4-3 in the conference final. So
this is definitely a year when everyone's expecting, including the owners of the Chicago team, expecting this Bulls team to go a little bit further. Nice move there by Gary Grant. He had a chance for a three-point play, but this one out of reach. 103-85. We're going to time out with 2:59 remaining. 103-85 Chicago. There's a nice move by Gary Grant.
Well, it should come down to the Clippers fighting, if they get healthy, Golden State and Seattle
for that last spot. Grant completes the three-point play. 103-86. Less than 3 minutes to go now. Chicago led by 6 at the end of the first quarter, 7 at the half. Built it up to 19 at the end of the third quarter. It's a 17-point lead now. And perhaps most important of all for the Bulls are getting a chance to rest their regulars before meeting that run-and-gun Denver bunch tomorrow night. Mike Schuler continues to try all different kinds of combinations. Grant sits down now. Tom Garrick checks back in. Vaught takes the jumper and nails it. Roy Vaught has 6 points tonight. Bulls by 15. Now it comes to Craig Hodges. You knew he was going to try that before the night was over. One of those three-pointers came up a little short. Deep rebound. Stolen by Garland from Purdue. Winston Garland has an easy two.
You look at Craig Hodges' game. The three-point shooting, he would either be first or second in the race for years. Last year, he was second behind Steve Kerr in three-point shooting, field goal percentage. And you know he will make them for you at playoff time when you need the outside game.
A travel call against King. Well, Clippers trying to make a little run late here. They've got the fans back in it. Martin's jumper won't go. Will Pregul's done a good job off the bench tonight when he's been in there. He's come down with a few rebounds.
Right here, the guy with the ball, B.J. Armstrong, must, pick up his game because they're going to need him at playoffs. And I'm not just talking about scoring. I'm talking about ball handling ability, getting the ball to the key people, and then when they drop off of him, he must be able to hit the perimeter shot when we're talking about the second and third round of the playoffs. Then turn around and give them better defense at that position.
And you're asking all of that from a player in just his second year out of Iowa. He has gotten more minutes this year as Phil Jackson tries to work him more into the rotation.
Well, anytime that you're in a position like Phil Jackson, you're on the road. 8 out of your 11 games are on the road. And let's say they're going to win their 5th tonight, they'll be 5-4. That's an outstanding record, especially to come to the West and do all this. And you're trying to work guys in and get them a feel of combination. That's the hard part of all of this.
Now remember, 3 of their losses this year have been at the also. One to Washington, one to Boston, one to Phoenix. Take away those three losses, and this team is right where they want to be, near the top of Detroit. Garland's going to launch one from out in three-point land as we go into the final minute of tonight's game. The Chicago Bulls are going to even up their record at 6-6 and drop the Clippers to a game under 500. But Hubie, you made the point that 9 of the 12 games have been on the road, and the 5-4 road record for any team in this league is excellent. And the schedule will very soon turn in Chicago's favor. Tom Garrett getting that one. 105-92.
See, last year Chicago won 55 games. That was 4 behind Detroit at 59. People said, what was the difference between the two? Detroit, against the bottom 7 teams in the league, 23-2. Chicago, 19-6. They've got to beat the bad teams. And this is one of the games they lost last year on the road.
And they're going to win it tonight. And following that one was a young player who just checked into the game, Cedric Ball, who was recently picked up from the CBA Wichita Falls team out of UNCC as the injuries hit this Clippers team, and they went scrambling to find some bodies. And they'll get a chance to go to the free throw line now with just 13 and a half seconds to go.
Well, his story parallels Williams from the Chicago Bulls. Both guys playing in schools in Carolina, by the way, North Carolina. You know, he wasn't drafted by anyone. He was just a rebounder, a bang-around guy. Came to camp, did a real good job. They brought him back, played 5 exhibitions, and then he was cut from the team. Except with all the injuries, he's back.
Well, the Clippers are going to make it a little bit respectable if they can hit one more basket. They do. Jeff Martin's had a nice ball game tonight. He has 19 points. It's an 8-point game now, 105-97. But it's all over, and the Chicago Bulls have defeated the Los Angeles Clippers. Phil Jackson's long road trip continues, but the long road trip looks a little bit better now. The Bulls are 3-3 on the trip, 1 game left in Denver before they get back to their home ground at Chicago Stadium. Our final score tonight, 105-87.
A valuable away win for the Bulls, giving them a 5-4 road record in the early part of the season. Clipper Charles Smith was the game's top scorer with 28, but John Paxson, 1 point shy of his career high with 26 points, and Scottie Pippen with 13 points, 13 rebounds and 12 assists, tied for the man of the match. 4-time NBA scoring champion Michael Jordan was content to sit out the last 9 minutes of the game for a season low of 14 points. He made up for it the next night, however, in Denver, scoring a game-high 38 points as the Bulls completed their road trip with a 151-145 win. That gave Chicago a 500 record and 8th spot on the Eastern Conference ladder, but they can now look forward to 14 of their next 17 games at home. Boston still heads the conference, with Detroit moving menacingly into second. Charlotte, which hasn't made the playoffs in its short history, leads a much improved season for all the expansion clubs. In the Western Conference, Portland continues to blaze a perfect trail while it's very tight for the last 4 playoff positions, with the Clippers equal 8th with Dallas after just 11 of their 82 regular season games. Next week it's an all-Eastern Conference affair as we take our first season 1990-91 look at the champion Detroit Pistons as they host the would-be usurpers of their bad boy title, the Philadelphia 76ers. There's sure to be plenty of thump and bump mixed with the best basketball there is. And I look forward to your company at the same time next week. Goodbye.